From questions from 1 to say 7, match the teacher's instructions with the stage aims from different lessons listed from A to H. There is one extra option you need to use. Okay, so here we have the stage aims, Francisco. As we were talking, in the real test, maybe you will be asked to write about the stage aims, or you will have the combination between these four aims. Okay, but don't worry, this time is just stage aims. So you have the teacher's instructions, which are basically the procedures. As you can see, there are 7 instructions, and you have 8 stage aims. As you can see, one is not needed. Okay, remember, Francisco, the clue here is to find these keywords. Okay, these words that are going to be important in order to get the achievement. Okay, what as teachers we want our students to learn? What as teachers we want them to practice, to develop, to provide, to encourage? Okay, Francisco? So you're going to have 10 minutes to do it. Are you ready? All right, Francisco, 10 minutes maximum. Go ahead and good luck. Remember, if you finish earlier, let me know so that we can continue. Okay, Francisco, time's up. Are you done or not yet? Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna provide you more minutes. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna give you a few more minutes. It is difficult, right, to identify sometimes, to analyze the sentence, to look for keywords, or maybe these aims are like together, like you think that they are similar to the activities, or the activities are similar to the stage aims. So don't worry, I clearly understand. I'm gonna give you a few more minutes and then we will check. Don't worry, you are not under pressure. I have the whole evening to be here. Okay, very nice, Francisco. So I'm gonna analyze from your answers. I'm gonna give you my comments and more or less how what I think about your answers, and then we will check the real ones. Okay, for you, number one is C, to encourage learners to recycle known vocabulary items. Okay, very good. So they are connecting knowledges, right? Very nice. So that's possible. It looks good to me. Number two, look at the first time the dialogue in the books. Will the man's voice go up and down? Obviously, it's say, right? We're talking about intonation, raising and downing, and so on. Number three, according to you, is letter E, which means to develop learning skills, listening for detail. Yeah, maybe yes, because they are telling about you to pay attention of what the people are saying. But remember, it's not to have the main idea because then this is for gist. So maybe I will change that. For me, maybe number three is more E. Sorry, it's more F, sorry, for me, but that's okay. We will check. We will see. Okay, number four, for you, it's letter H to check learners' reading comprehension. Okay, in this case, maybe no, because it says reading, Francisco. And in number four, we are having a listening. Now I'm going to play the conversation again. So maybe I'm not sure for each. I'm not sure if it's really reading comprehension. I will use more like listening for gist or listening for detail. But don't worry, we will check. Number five, practice the dialogue with your partners using, and for you, that number five is not letter D. Very good, very good. Because I don't know. That would be possible, but remember that this is an oral practice. And when it says here peer assessment, it means that you as a teacher, you need to be there and check and so on. So maybe I'm not sure about number five. I will use more for number five, the one of to give learners less control oral practice. But let's see. Get together with another pair and listen to their dialogue. Make a note of any features or connected speech they could improve. In this case, you're writing number six is letter F, according to you. Could be excellent, nice. But in this case, I don't know, maybe I will use it for peer assessment because now you are assessing your students. Maybe. I don't know. Let's check. And finally, practice your dialogue again and make any changes you think will improve it. For you is G, self-correction. I agree with you. Okay, don't worry, it's okay. We're gonna check the answers and so on. So I hope you did very well. Number one is letter C, correct, Francisco. Okay. Number two is letter A, perfect. And number three, as I was telling you, it's F. Okay. Remember that gist is for whenever we want to get the main idea. So in this case, it says tell what the people are talking about. So you need just to know what they are talking about, the main idea of the dialogue. Okay. And in number four is more for detail because you need to listen and then put the pictures together. As I was telling you, it's not a reading activity. So I think the reading activity was the extra because any of them are talking about text or about getting information from an article or from an essay, nothing like that. Okay, so sorry. In this case, I think it was complicated. Number five, it's D, and sorry, it's B, and you wrote D. As I was telling you, it's more controlled practice because then, okay, you are giving them the prompts, you are helping them, but they need to decide which prompts they want to use, or maybe if they want to change them, because in this case it's not forcibly to use those on the board, right? So they can even change them. Number six is letter D in this case, Francisco. As I was telling you, it's peer assessment because you as a teacher, you can start looking and see if they need some help, what they can improve, and so on. And finally, number seven is Z, as you said, and you are perfectly correct. Okay, Francisco, so be careful. Be careful. Maybe you forgot about these skills and sub skills. That's okay. But it is important to study them because when we're talking about planning, it needs to we need to have it clear that we're going to be talking about skills, we're going to be talking about activities, and we need to know what those activities are, all these important concepts. So if you still have some doubts, please go to Edmodo and try to click on the video, and so that you can refresh a little bit. Okay. And at the same time, Francisco, I want to ask you if you have already checked your test, the sample test. And it's important for me because I need to know if you can open it, because I remember that like 1 week ago you told me that you had some problems by uploading and downloading these kind of documents. So please, Francisco, have you checked the test, the document? Not yet? Okay, Francisco. So I hope you do it soon. Please, 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 please. So that next Friday we can check it. Okay, and Francisco, congratulations. I think you have good marks. Some of them were not that good. You have them incorrect, but I hope this explanation was clear. So tell me, any doubts or questions, Francisco, or something that you like to comment about this topic, about this activity? Please, Francisco, that will be so, so nice. I'm sure you're going to get the test. I'm sure of that. But remember, it's important to continuously reviewing and so on. Mhm. So, no doubts, no questions, Francisco? Francisco, sorry. Now, all right. So we're going to continue because we are having like 20 minutes left. So we're going to look at the new topic that is planning itself. Okay. So in this case, we're going to be talking about lesson plans. Okay. The structure of these lesson plans. All right. So unit number two identifying the different components of a lesson plan. Okay, Francisco. And before we start talking about the aspects and planning itself, tell me, Francisco, do you think that a lesson plan is more like an instruction leaflet, a photograph, story, a roadmap, a computer program, a series of road signs, a written summary, or something else? So tell me, Francisco, what do you think a lesson plan is more like? Is most like? What is similar to a lesson plan? You know what planning is. So can you relate planning with one of these words? Tell me which ones or which one and why. For example, you might say, "Oh, I think it's a story because you have, I don't know, different stages, and each stage has a description. I don't know." Okay, very good. You're saying that it's more like a written summary because it specify that you will use to work. Okay, good. I like that description. Another of these aspects, apart from written summary, yeah, basically is a description, right? And it has to be very concrete. Sometimes teachers forget that lesson plans need to be concrete. They are filling and filling spaces and they are saying or they are writing many words, but they with words that doesn't lead you to anything, right? So tell me, Francisco, is that is the only one, a written summary? Or can you relate planning with another word and why? Okay, a roadmap too, because maybe it is a way to follow for getting a name planted before. Plan it before. I think it should be planned before. Very good. Very good, Francisco. I totally agree with you with this answer. Yes, it's the roadmap because this is the way, okay, all the steps, all the procedures you need to follow in order to get a name, right? Excellent, Francisco. I'm very happy with that answer. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what is a lesson plan. Remember that it's a set of notes that helps us as teachers to think through what we are going to teach and how we're going to teach it. So you have two important concepts: what to teach and how to teach it. It also guides us during and after the lessons. We can identify the most important components or parts of a lesson plan by thinking carefully about our learners, what we want our learners to do, and how we want them to do it. So, one more time, we have two questions: what do we want them to do, and how we want them to do those activities? Okay, so in this case, according to Cambridge, a lesson plan is probably most like a roadmap or a series of road signs as they show us where and how we are going to get to a place. That's why I really liked your last answer, Francisco, because you're telling me that this is the way, it's like the conduct in which we're going to be giving our teaching. Okay, and obviously aims are very important in this case because as what we're going to teach them and how we're going to teach them according to the aims, according to what we want them to learn. Yes, Francisco, no problem. Cool. And now this is very quickly, this is a very quickly lesson. Okay, we're going to talk about the main components of a lesson plan. You know that these components can vary. Okay, Francisco, these are not like compulsory to have all these components. That will depend on your school, the institution, the university, that your coordinator, your syllabus. So many aspects influence in the organization and aspects of a lesson plan. Most common ones. So I'm going to be explaining them little by little, Francisco. And please, this is very important. Ask me, please, in case of having doubts. Please ask me if you have doubts or if you have some questions. Okay, and so on. Okay, the first component, or one of the most common components, is class profile. Okay, what is the class profile? Who are we planning the lesson for? For example, you have the part in your lesson plan class profile, students from 14 to 16, level A1 English. That's it. Okay, so what are your students like? How, or even the classroom, even the environment, talking about your classmates, if they are, like, I don't know, students that need some support, that they have failed English, students that are taking the subject one more time, or advanced students, and so on. So everything that you can qualify your students, we are going to put it in class profile. Okay, then aspect number two, timetable fit. How is the lesson connected to the last lesson or the next one? So be careful, Francisco, because as you listen or as you read the word time, you're thinking about hours, but nothing to do with that. Timetable fit means like like the knowledge that you saw previously in order to plan your today's class, for example, or the sequence of previous lesson plans in order to get this new lesson plan. Okay, so for example, in this case, I don't know, right now we're talking about past continuous. We saw last class or previous classes the simple past, so that they can contrast, and also we saw the gerunds and so on. So this is the timetable fit. Okay, how you connect previous lesson plans with this new one. Okay, and obviously cannot you cannot miss it, is main aim or main aims. Okay, what do we want learners to learn or to be able to do by the end of the lesson? So we have already talked about main aims, right? This is the most important thing that we want our learners to practice or to learn or to study or to memorize everything. Now, for stage aims, okay, you know that stage aims, what is the purpose of each stage of the lesson? Okay, remember that this is important because these are the all the aims, all the achievements that we want per each activity. Okay, so far we have four: class profile, timetable fit, main aim, stage aim. Okay, and now number five, personal aims that we have already talked also. What aspect of our own teachers do we want our learners to develop or improve? No, sorry, us as teachers to develop or improve. Okay, so five, personal aims. So far, so good, Francisco. Do you have a question about one of these? Please let me know because I have all of them there. So I cannot move and so on. But you can stop me anytime. No problem. Okay. So, and besides, you are very familiarized with at least the aims. At least you are very familiarized with the aims. Now, number six, assumptions. What do we think learners already know or can already do related to the aims? Okay, so in this case, remember, Francisco, assumptions is what we assume that our students know. They know it. They already got the knowledge. For example, as I was telling you, the topic or the main aim is to use past continuous to talk about durative, I don't know, activities in the past. But the previous knowledge is that my students know the verb to be in simple past, was and were, and they know the rules for ing, gerund. That's my assumption. Okay, because now I'm going to see the use. I am not repeating the was and were and were in ing. Okay, so that's my assumption. Okay, anticipated problems. What may learners find difficult in the lesson? What they may not be used to doing? What they may not feel confident about? So, past continuous. What can be difficult for them? Okay, maybe it's difficult to contrast simple past with past continuous. Okay, because in Spanish and many languages there is no a big difference, right? So they will say, but it's almost the same for me. And then you need to anticipate problems. Maybe you can write sentences or give examples from a text so that you can say, okay, in this moment, let's analyze these sentences and let's see why I use here simple past and why I use here past continuous. So I am anticipating this problem by giving them some examples. Okay, or maybe I don't know, provide a video in which people are, I don't know, with movements like I was dancing and I dance. He just dance for a moment and that's it. You see, so this is the moment in which you can anticipate some difficult things that might be presented. Okay, possible solutions. What actions will be taken to deal with the anticipated problems? Okay, so in anticipated problems, basically you are just describing. Okay, you are telling that maybe it's difficult to check the difference between simple past and past continuous. Possible solutions, show them a video in which it is explaining with beautiful draws and beautiful puppets that the differences between simple past and past continuous. Okay. Yes, Francisco, no problem so far. So we have now assumptions, anticipated problems, and possible solutions. So far, so good? All right. Now, teaching aids, materials, or equipment. What we should what should we remember to take to the lesson? So this is all the extra materials, all the help that you need: videos, worksheets, movies, everything, flashcards, everything that you need to take to the class that will help you so that your students can develop the skills. Okay. Number 10, procedures. Now, the procedures are the steps, all the activities that will be providing the students. So, what are the tasks or activities for each stage? Okay, so many teachers or in many lesson plans, we have warm up, main activity, and so on, conclusion, and so on, feedback. So, all that procedure is basically the activities and the tasks that you're going to be getting in your plan. Timing. Now we're going to talk about time. What length of time will we need for each stage? Now, difference between timetable fit and timing is now that in this case you're going to have the hours: 20 minutes for first activity, 10 minutes for the ice breaking, I don't know, 5 minutes for the introduction, and so on, all the time that you specify per each activity. Interaction patterns. Okay, this is especially for the PPP. If you have like some communicative methodology, interaction pattern is good for you. In which ways will a student work at different stages, individually, in pairs, in groups, as a whole class, etc.? So in the interaction patterns, you're going to put, okay, in the icebreaker, they are going to talk, they are going to be working in pairs. Okay, in the main activity, as I want to know what they know, they are going to work alone. Okay, and for the last activity, which is a discussion, a debate about past simple and past continuous, it's going to be grouping all the group and so on. So basically, interaction patterns It's the way they are going to be working alone, in pairs, in groups, etc. Okay. And finally, homework. Here is not very clear, but basically we all know what homework is the further work that learners need to do before or after the next lesson. Okay. So that means that what do you want to give them in order to start working or in order to get to the last point. And this is the point number 30. Okay, Francisco. So these are the main components. As I was telling you, this is not for all lesson plannings. You have your own lesson plan. I have my own lesson plans. I have my own format. But basically, those are the most important ones, the most common, and the ones that you're going to be asked in the TKT real test. Uh-huh. So, questions or problems, Francisco, about these components? Have you taken notes about them? I hope you have. Excellent. No problems then? No questions? Are they similar to your lesson planning? Which ones of these components do you have in your lesson plan, Francisco? In my case, I have class profile, I have timetable fit, main aim, per stage and personal aims, I don't have them. Assumptions, I don't have them. Anticipated problems, I don't have them. Possible solutions, I don't have them. Teaching aid materials and equipment, yes. Procedures, yes. Timing, yes. Interaction patterns, no. And homework, yes. Okay, so you have also the same as mine. Class profile, main aim, what else? Timetable fit, do you have a timetable fit? Procedures, timing, good. What else? Sometimes interaction patterns. Oh, yes, yes. I also write it there. I don't specify, like, I mean, in my lesson planning, I don't have like a specific chart, let's say, for interaction patterns, but I specify it in the activities. They are going to work in pairs, in groups. Uh-huh. But I don't have like a specific line for interaction patterns. Hmm. What else, Francisco? That's it. All right. That's it, Francisco. It's because I'm looking that you are still typing. So I'm going to wait for you to finish. And I'm sorry, I made a mistake here in procedures. It should be a no here. Sorry. Finger mistake. Yes, right. So we take them into account, but we don't write them like it's not formally written in our lesson planning. Okay, very good, Francisco. Nice. All right, so we are about to finish, Francisco, but I want you. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, I don't know what happened to the presentation. It is like, can you see this black part here, or in your computer? Can you see? Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. It wasn't there when I upload the. the document. Okay, but I'm gonna explain you the activity, and later on I'm going to see how I can fix it. Okay, Francisco? I don't know, that wasn't there. I don't know. Okay, so you have here, Francisco, and this is going to be for homework. Don't worry, I am not going to provide it with this black stuff. I'm gonna provide it with the good one. Okay, so I'm going to be uploading this in Edmodo. What you have to do, you have here a lesson planning. Okay, here obviously you see in small letters, but you can print it and you can see the big letters. Okay, so you have here some of these um descriptions, and you have here, what is this black stuff, you have here the answers: anticipated problem, interaction partners, procedures, etc. So these are going to be fit in these parts of the numbers, in these ones: one, two, three, four, five, and so on. Okay, so I have an example for you. The first one says for 24 students at intermediate B2 level. So obviously this is the class profile. Okay, so you have the option here. Obviously here it is not shown, but you have the option here, and it's class profile. Then you have another description. Students have already worked on simple descriptions of people. So you need to decide what of these aspects is going to be fit here, and so on. Okay. So tell me, Francisco, if you have a question about this activity or a problem, or it's crystal clear. So what you need to know is just to transfer these words to this part. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to be uploading the image without the black stuff in Edmodo, and then you're going to do this activity for Monday. Okay, so if you want to enjoy your weekend, try to do it right now so that you can enjoy your weekend without any problem. Okay, so thank you very much, Francisco, for being with me tonight. It was a very nice pleasure to have these exchanges with you, and see you on Monday from 6 to 8. Okay, so let's be in touch and have an excellent evening and weekend. Have an excellent weekend. Thank you, Francisco. Bye bye.